All right, welcome to Clyde on a Bike Reviews. This one is the Gitup Git1 action camera sent to me by gearbest.com. Now, out of the other ones I've tested, this one actually kind of stands out. We'll get to everything that's in there in a minute, but I want to get to the camera. Now, they all kind of look the same, pretty simplistic, just a little box with camera lens on them. This one, like most of the copies, has the LCD screen on the back, no surprise there. But as I get up here closer to the camera, actually see this thing is very clean, much more quality looking. And everything's done right. Very straightforward, clean lines. I mean, looks and feels solid. Doesn't have that, I guess, cheap feel to it. Now, it's very similar to the GoPro. You have power button here, your shutter button here, settings button over here. And we'll get to the whole GoPro setup in a second, but what I got with this was just the camera itself. So here's the camera, comes with a little quick start guide, which this one's actually written pretty well. Pretty simple to read. The translation's done fairly well, better than some of the others. Other than that, you get just your USB cord, which has a warning. It uses the mini style USBs, not the little micros. So be prepared for that. I don't think you can plug it in to just any micro USB port you got laying around, because in this one, it doesn't work that way. But you can see on the side here, there's your USB, there's your HDMI mini port. It even shows where the microphone is. Now this one does support an external microphone. I'm assuming it's through the USB port. And then your SD card is right here, little micro USB, or USD, SD card. Yeah, can't talk today. All right, get that back in there. Maybe. There we go. Oh, missed again. Things are never good for people with big fingers. Here we go. Anyhow, okay, we'll get over to the size thing here. Now what I got here, GoPro case. Now, I did have GearBest send me a case with this because obviously some of these work with GoPro cases, some don't. So it's better to have the one for the camera on hand just in case. But if you look at it side by side, the Gitup case is on the left. A little bit smaller, different latch design, but the layout's pretty well similar. On this one, just for testing purposes, I did cut out some of the padded foam so we can actually see the LCD through the case, whereas the supplied ones come with the padding on the sides here. But if you line them up back to back here, you can definitely see there's a size difference. This one's much smaller, but if you need a spare case, pops in, fits perfectly in a GoPro case. It's just that with the GoPro cases, as you can see inside the case here, there's basically part of the case is actually molded to hold the camera centered inside of it, but the case itself's bigger than the camera, whereas the Gitup case is more in tune to the size. I mean, you can see that there's no real big supports built and molded into the case itself. It just kind of fits in there snugly. And close it, and then a nice little turn latch here, which is turn and lock done. If you need to open it, push down on this little tab that's up here, pop it open, get back to the camera. Oh, I pretty much gather that obviously this style GoPro will also fit in these cases, which I'm a fan of this case over these ones. I don't really like these big clips on them. I tend to loot and pop them off and end up possibly losing them. I've already lost one clip from a different case because of that problem. Now we'll get into the powering up here. You push and hold, and it'll make a big obnoxious beep. And then there you go. Now you have your settings button over here. So you can go through the settings. You just sit there and hit the shutter, and you can scroll through the screen to each different thing. Now all resolutions have one slight issue, is that they're all 30 frames per second. I rather enjoy having 60 frames per second, being the fact that I'm a cyclist, mountain biker. The faster frames per second is needed during the day. At night, it doesn't show up so much because there's not as much detail. But during the day, you can definitely kind of see the difference between 30 and 60 frames per second. Shut that back off. But anyhow, all right, well, there's pulling it out of the box, seeing what you get. Just a quick comparison here. We'll go ahead and lock that back in the case for the moment. But on the left there's your Soku C10, which is more or less the SJ4000 clone. A little bit bigger. Camera itself's all right. I mean, it had no problems with the functionality as of yet. Hasn't given me any troubles. But the case for it, on the other hand, I'm already on the second back plate, and I'm probably going to end up having to order a replacement case because the hinges on the backing plates keep breaking. All right, well, stay tuned to the second half of this video. I'm showing some trail riding video and how well this thing does. I'm pretty impressed with it for what it is. I just really wish that they had a 60 frames per second. Maybe that'll be something they come out with later, because they do a really good job with the quality of the camera. Hopefully they can get the internals going right along with it. And stay tuned. Here comes the action itself.